All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's the day. We have a special guest on stream. He's pretty new to the Twitch community, the Twitch photography community. I can't say very new, probably about a month now that I've known this man. And he's kicking off the revival of our Edit My Photos stream segment, where we like to have friends on stream. I like to exchange RAWs with them. We edit each other's photos, and then we'll compare and contrast, and figure out, talk about why we do like what we do, because there's so many different styles of editing and all that good stuff. The goal of this segment is we're not going to have a vote at the end of the stream and whose was better, yada, yada. The goal is just maybe to give you an idea of some techniques of how to edit, or, why, what are some cool ways to edit, things you might not have thought of, things like that. So chat, I want you guys to get your claps ready, your hypes ready, your choo-hoos ready, and I want you to warmly welcome Mapleglades into the academy. All right, give it up. There he is. There's the guy. What up, dude?
Hey man, what's going on?
There he is, chat.
Everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
How is everyone this morning? Seems the hype train is well on its way.
Yeah, I just got here, man. You're full screened and everything. It's your show.
Oh, it's my show. Jeez. Oh man. Hi everyone. I stream sometimes, and I have a cool thing. Hang on.
He's got a cool thing.
It'll play in the background there.
I need to turn that down, bro. I need to adjust the volume on that thing. Scares me every time.
Has anybody seen Silicon Valley? Okay, if anybody's seen Silicon Valley, there's a scene where Guilfoyle has his Bitcoin efficiency alert set to this 1.3 second grindcore song, and I thought it would be really funny if that was my alert, because it's very fast, but it definitely alerts you that I'm here. So
that's you. I mean, that's it right there. Bam.
Just right to the point. Boom. There you are. It's almost like weird. I'm like looking over and talking to Discord, and then you're like over on the stream over here.
Yeah, it's best to mute the stream and then just let me be in your ear holes and all that.
You are in both of them.
You're in all three of them. Well, here he is, the man of the hour. I'm gonna get the photos all set up here, but one of the things about having you on is just also freaking getting to know you, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been in and out of your streams and stuff like that.
People too. So,
but if in case there's somebody here that doesn't know you or is like completely new to what's going on, how long you been in photography? How'd you get your start? Or actually, let's start with the name, bro. What's the proper pronunciation for your first and last name?
Well, first, it's Maple, as in maple syrup. No, just kidding. My actual name is Brendan, and my last name is Friesen, which is of German Mennonite descent. So
Friesen, like you're freezing.
Hence, my Instagram is not Maple; it's IB Friesen, because
that makes so much sense now. I'm like,
so you're welcome, everybody.
I thought it was because. Yeah, I don't know. I was like trying to find Mapleglades on Instagram.
I guess, like that too.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, man. Friesen. You pronounce it Friesen. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Let's give ourselves just a little bit more headroom here.
There you go. Headroom, love it. All right, so Brendan Friesen.
That is me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit about me. I'm from a grain farm in the middle of Canada, and then I moved to Toronto to do my master's in operatic performance, and then I got a job at the opera company in Montreal for 2 years, and then COVID hit. So I am a classically trained opera singer turned photographer, because in 2019 I went down a YouTube rabbit hole of, let's just make our pictures look cool. What's Lightroom? What's this? Da 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 da. And then started shooting with my phone, because I found out it had a RAW setting. Good old LG coming through clutch.
Wow. You still have that phone?
I do. I'm still
really
shooting on it. Yeah.
What LG is that?
It's the G7 Thin Q.
Wow,
And
what
I
a
was like,
name.
oh man, I'm gonna keep my eyes out for another LG, and then they decided to shut down their cell phone department.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just use this, and then I'll die. It's
You're gonna have to go to iPhone, my man.
Oh,
No
we have
comment.
some differences here. It's like we don't speak about Canon, we don't speak about Apple in my streams.
Wow, really? I didn't know that. Did Apple hurt you before?
No,
like,
let's not get into it. It's it works
Bro.
great if everything you have is Apple. I do understand it's simple and stuff. I'm just a customizing kind of guy. I gotta have control over everything. And
do we need to have an intervention right now here
Yeah,
on
okay.
stream? We need to dive deep into the past.
Okay. But, so basically, I started shooting in 2019. I got my first camera. It was a Canon SL2, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to like make videos. I want to vlog. You know, like everything's like everybody's hyped on like making their own videos and stuff." And then I found out that I absolutely hated the idea of holding a camera out in front of me in public, and I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. That's kind of stupid. But then I was like, well, I got this camera. I also like photos and think I have an eye for things. So why don't I just start like shooting and stuff. And it was a really good in just to be like, okay, here's a raw photo. Do stuff with it. Like there's no rules. And that was something that was really different about photography compared to classical singing, where you're always looking for feedback. Like, was this good? Was my tone right? Was everything the way it was supposed to be? And then photography is just like, do you think it looks cool? That's awesome. It's up to you, you know? And from there, I was, I would take my camera to work and I would shoot master classes. I'd shoot behind the scenes. I'd shoot rehearsal stuff behind the scenes. And it was just like, the idea was like, oh man, a lot of people in regular life who aren't photographers don't get cool photos of them. So it kind of like excited me to be able to like give photos to people and have them be like, whoa, I've never seen myself literally through that lens, you know?
Bro,
So,
real quick, business idea, because you kind of you touched on, there are a lot of people who don't have cool photos of themselves. But what about photographers? So many photographers don't have cool photos of themselves either.
Dude,
what if you become the photographer for photographers? You know what I mean?
Dude,
like, that's your business.
Dude, there's oh man, now I'm blanking which one. I've tried to memorize all of your names, but there's a dude, I don't know if he's here, but he lives in northern Quebec. If you come down to Montreal, let's hang out.
If I come up to Montreal. Oh no, you're talking about your friend.
If you come from Hawaii to Montreal, I think I can make some time for you. But that was pretty much it. I just kind of kept shooting, and it was a really nice creative outlet in the meantime. And then I started thinking about like, oh well, the streaming and stuff is fun. Just being able to sit in my chair and have some sort of like extroverted connection with people, especially with like COVID and stuff. I was like, oh man, it's nice to feel like you're actually having a party. And when you're streaming, it kind of feels like you're at a party with people. You just get to talk about stuff you're interested in, and people stay if they want, and it's cool. It's a cool community. So I was very pumped to drop in and find your stream that
How did that happen? Yeah, let's talk about Twitch a little bit. I mean, like, how did that happen? I almost kind of don't even remember the first time you came. I feel like you've been here for 5 months already.
Magical moment of just everything converged and the planets aligned, and we came together, and and the rest is history. But no, I was perusing just photography tags and stuff. And
well, I mean, were you an avid Twitch user before? Like, would you watch Pokemon? Were you like Pokemon enthusiast?
I started playing 7 Days to Die. I'm a big like survival horror kind of person, stuff like that. And, just like crafting, long form. Like, I like games where I can talk to the chat, especially on Twitch and stuff. I don't like just
Roblox.
Only talking to the people who are like in my Discord on my team, and people are watching me play competitive. It's like, dude, I am bad at video games, but I like them, so I like games where I can be like, oh well, you know, this would be kind of fun if we did this. Ha 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 ha. You know, it's like I like to hang out with people more than I like to game. So, it kind of started like that, and then I was like, oh well, you know, I'm working at my desk anyways. Why don't I make a Lightroom overlay, and we'll kind of go from there. And then it was, oh, let's do this, and I kind of got obsessed with, you know, making OBS overlays and stuff, so I could just hang out, live my life, and stream the whole thing and have it be kind of sleek. And I was like, oh well, let's pop in and see what some other photographers are doing, and found yours, and what do you know, you guys do like a million things a week. And I was like, I got time, kind of. I mean, I streamed for 10 hours yesterday because I was crunching, but you know.
Yeah, that's insane. I remember my first, like, before I started streaming, like, and I was so new, like just so freaking noobish at everything Twitch, like watching all the videos, watching the 50 tips, you know, all that crap. And then I started searching for photography, and like I only found like VODs from like 9 years ago, or like highlights or whatever, and like all these like old things. And I was like, oh, there's no one doing this? What? And then I thought that, but come to find out, there's a community out there, you know. And shout out to Mr. Shu and you know, a lot of the people in the Twitch photography community that have been doing it. And it's funny because like I was in a stream the other day, and they're like, someone's like, yeah man, you know, I just started streaming on photography because I didn't see anyone doing it. And I'm like, I think that's the thing, is like, that's what we always think. And then there is, though, you know, like there is. And it's like kind of cool that like once you kind of find it, you're like, whoa, and it just like opens up your horizons, and you just get stoked. I don't know.
Totally.
Cool.
I mean, like, it's amazing the amount of times where somebody will come in who's like a first-time viewer, whether it's your stream or it's my stream or it's Dee's stream or it's Dio's stream, or, you know, everybody. And it's just one person pops in and it's like, oh, I was just looking at photography streams, and I came in, and it's like, there has to be like an easier way for us to like find each other. But I mean, it's been really fun. Not that I think I'm like a matchmaker type person, but I love popping into people's streams and being like, yo, do you know about this? Do you know about this? You should pop over to here. We're doing a thing tomorrow. Come on, pop in. I don't know. I've probably, like a lot of people in chat, I've probably berated you with like, no, it's going to be fun. Just like, come hang out with us, you know? And
yeah,
you know, stuff like that. And also, I'm going to try and keep an eye on the chat as well. I do stream, so I have the ability to multitask here.
No worries. That was me when Maple raided me, first raid, and threw me in, you know? The thing about Twitch, you know, and like, I don't know if you guys know the Twitch photography Discord and stuff, but, you know, we created that to become just a directory, really. A directory and like a place to find others that you're not alone. But then that's the thing about Twitch too, is that you can do your own thing if you want to, you know, like that's amazing. So far, I haven't found any type of gatekeeping and things like that, which, you know, I hope continues. But, you know, do your own thing, you know. To the Twitch photography Discord, they have a team section where if you wanted to join it, they kind of require like a threshold of like, I believe 75% at least of content. And
I think it's like a little bit flexible too.
The whole
like,
goal of that, yeah.
Exactly, but it's like you have to be doing photography. You can't just be a photographer that only plays this one particular game or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and well, the goal was there. You know, you can collect stats from all the members, and then just to be able to present to Twitch and say, hey, we've been collecting stats for over a year and a half. Check out what we've been doing on, you know, give us our own freaking category, you know.
Yeah,
tags are great, but give us a category, you know. Help us to get up below the freaking body painters and chibi anime stuff. And, you know, I think having a category for like photographers and videographers would be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So how long? But for you, how long have you been streaming on Twitch?
I feel like there are two eras. There's me with one or two people who I know in my stream as I play 7 Days to Die for 7 hours late into the evening, not even thinking about affiliate or average viewer scores. I didn't know anything. And then probably spring 2021, I think February actually 2021. So it's been about a year actually since I started trying this whole thing out. And very quickly I was doing a lot of photography stuff, and that was kind of it. So I would say about a year I started taking it a little bit more like seriously, and I use it as a kind of a reminder, is that I did a bunch of like IRL tractor streams.
You would drive the tractor and stream it?
So I would take my phone and I would just plug it into the USB, and I would leave it on the dash, and I was like, I'm so sorry for the audio. And then I would just stream for like 7 hours. And it was this crazy thing, because back where I'm from, the cell plan providers were like, hey, we know you guys are out in the fields doing stuff. We are going to wipe the overage charges on data.
What?
For cell phones, for the seeding time of the year. And I was like, all right, you are immediately going to regret that. I promise you'll regret that. And I racked up, like, I was streaming 720 like all day. And I was like, well, it's not my data. I'll just...
Yeah.
But so, it was fun. So stick around. If you follow me and it comes to be about that like May, June time, you're going to get a very wild departure. When
you help up at the farm.
Yeah. Let's get wild.
I posted a link in the chat. Try click on that. I created a little meme when photography announced that they made like a creative directory, but I kind of threw together like what a photo video editing panel would look like, just for funsies, because that's the thing. We're like, give us a category, but then they're like, here's a directory, here's a tag, but it's like, no, give us photo. I like it.
Yeah, that's really good.
Absolute perfection.
Its own category. Freaking beauty and body art is like, I mean, that feels pretty niche.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of people out there who are like, they have a good phone, and they just want to take good pictures, and they want to get better pictures out of the stuff that they have. It's not like, oh, you can only come in here if you have like, an A7S III or an R5 or a freaking medium format camera. It's like, it's just a bunch of people talking about stuff that looks cool and taking pictures of stuff that looks cool. And it's like, I get so giddy when I get to explain the exposure triangle to somebody for the first time. I'm like, look, it's all about compromise, and that's what's fun about it. And I think there's a lot of people that if there was a category would be like, I wonder what's in there, Like, how do people make things look a certain way? Plus, like, the streams are always, like, really fun. Like, I don't know.
What's crazy about your room real quick, though? Your room has, like, a completely different kind of character in the mornings than it does at night. It's kind of cool.
It's super moody.
If you guys have popped into Maple's stream at night, usually it's like the fire's going, he's got his like light up on by the shelf. Like right now it's like completely different.
Now it's just like the bright and airy setup.
Looks like a coffee shop.
Exactly. Yeah. It's, with my absurdly high bed.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't even realize that was a freaking bed. I thought it was just your office room.
It's just a really soft table. I just
That's amazing.
I do most of my book work there. I love a table with a little bit of squish. Yeah.
No fireplace now. It's mountain ranges.
No fireplace right now. The production value is a little bit pressed this morning because Discord doesn't let me just run all of my stuff through it.
Yeah. Is that connected to your PC?
Discord? Yes.
I mean, no. The
Sorry,
back monitor. It's like of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's a monitor. So
Okay.
it's here's a fun fact. Did you guys know that you can run 1080p 60 frames a second through Ethernet cable? So you don't actually
Holy
need
frick.
super long HDMI cables.
What?
You can get these adapters on Amazon that are like a male and female end for the Ethernet,
What?
like a receiver and a transmitter. And you just plug Ethernet into it, and you can run 1080p video down the street with zero loss.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Everybody who's trying to, do what I did, where there's like a cable hanging down there and like runs under my bed, because that was like the longest HDMI I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just run Ethernet along the baseboard, and it'll cost you like $6.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
just
game changing.
It doesn't do 4K, and it's like, dude, nothing is in 4K. Like, nothing on Twitch is in 4K.
Dude, why? So I used to be a TV salesman at Sears. I used to sell TVs, and this is like before
Very
4K.
Cool. We love Sears.
Before 4K came out, or before it was like big,
Yep.
And like people would be like, "Oh my god, I want 4K. I want that 4K TV," and then we would just be like, "Why?" There's like nothing like being shown in 4K broadcast. That's always the thing at adoption, right? Putting content out in 4K and stuff.
I mean, it's great. 4K looks great, and like if you're uploading stuff to YouTube and stuff like that, yeah, 4K is a great option.
Yeah.
But for Twitch, it's like you're not going to use it because they actually just don't allow you to stream in 4K. So until that gets adopted, I don't think we really need to worry about it. Also, you were talking in your stream yesterday about how like the production, or was it yesterday or the other day, where production value does not immediately result in viewership. We just make it as aesthetic and stuff as we want, and then people show up, and there's people with thousands and thousands of people watching their streams, and their webcam is like all squashed down, and it's like nobody cares about 4K. Nobody cares about that specific resolution of your camera. It's for enthusiasts like us. So I don't know. Make sure you make good content, not just it's in 4K. It'll just be boring in 4K.
Yeah, it'll just be boring in 4K. I mean, it does like I mean the general rule of thumb for Twitch, because a lot, so like when I started, when you're looking into starting Twitch, a lot of like the getting started videos are kind of more geared towards gamers, right?
Yeah. And
so they're just like 720's fine, blah blah blah, like all these things. But as long as I was or when I was able to, man, I've kind of set my OBS and stuff to 1080, and it looks nice and crisp, especially when
that's good. My camera only does 1080 properly. So
oh yeah, I mean, I want to do 4K video on the cam maybe, but like my camera, like,
would it crop at 4K though?
Yeah, mine would be cropped. Mine's not like a proper. Plus, I don't have a lens that would I could adapt it down to like a 35 angle or whatever. But it does make a difference when you're watching and you can zoom in, and you can see like the sliders and crap of like what you're doing on Lightroom and Photoshop and stuff. I do appreciate that about Twitch.
Space to play with, and totally.
Yeah. What up, Alex? Good to see you. Cool. TV salesman at Walmart. At the time, there was like 4 shows. Yeah. You were a TV salesman at Walmart, Photo Jojo?
Do the 80D on with a wide lens works so good. For real.
80D with the wide lens. Oh, just the... Okay. Wait, so what camera are you streaming with right now?
Me?
Yeah.
R5, baby.
Okay, what's on right now?
This is 16 to 35.
No, I mean, like, how are we looking at you right now? What camera is that?
Sorry. Whoops, we're talking about this, and it's like, what do you shoot with? And I'm like...
What do you stream with? That's what I meant.
This is the Canon RP with the, like, what is it, like an $80 battery grip with a dummy battery plugged into the back of it, running directly HDMI. I used to use the Canon webcam software. That's how I got started on Twitch using my camera.
Yeah.
Because it's great. It was just like, okay, great. I don't have to buy a cam link. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do 60p and stuff like that. And, USB only carries from the camera 30. So I was doing 30 for a really long time. And then I got a Camlink Pro, the 4 HDMI in PCIe to my computer, which is great because I will also, of course, use this like when I take my computer places and we're doing things like live streaming for classical concerts and blah 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 blah. I can set up, run everything into my computer, and I can have other camera options. It's not really for Twitch, all those extra inputs. Although I've played with the idea of streaming with my roommate in the other room, running that Ethernet HDMI into one of my cam links and having both displays on my screen at once while we play together. I feel like that would be an interesting thing to watch. It'd be like watching split screen play on the couch. But yeah, anyways, lots of ideas, but things I haven't acted on. But that's my current setup. So now I'm actually, running proper 60 frames a second, which looks glossy.
Heck yeah. I mean, that probably saves you a lot of inputs and USB room and crap like that.
Totally. Unless like for like the software to go wrong, the amount of times where it would just be like webcam EOS software, and I'd be sitting there like, I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah. The freaking even Nikon's webcam utilities just
everything's kind of
cheeks, dude.
Even Sony's is not great. I used it professionally on one live stream shoot thing. The most nerve-wracking thing. I was white-knuckled the whole time. I was like, please don't let any of these softwares
white-knuckled
out on me here.
Nice.
But now, like, no, HDMI in, baby. It's totally worth it. Even off-brand. You don't have to get Elgato. Just, if you want a stable stream, there are options to just go HDMI in.
Newer Sony cameras have streaming built in. What do you mean, D-Tom? Like literally stream, like you hook up your camera to your phone and then you stream straight from your camera? Or like you're talking about like it just plays better?
That's a real thing. But I know that the Sony Xperia is basically like, sorry, I'm saying like a lot. Please just, I'll try to hold up. The Xperia that they just released is like an enthusiast camera that is also like a recording monitor. And you can hook it to your phone and record externally, and it has like an HDMI in and stuff, and then you can shoot from there. It's wild. But I don't know about the A7 IV, just a plug-in and stream camera.
I have a bunch of like gear and stuff where I can hook up my Z5 to my stream, and I can stream straight out of my camera, and I can like switch it between photo and video mode and stuff like that. It's pretty sick. I've done a couple of streams like that, but the only thing is it's whatever my camera sees. So I'm not really on camera, they could probably hear me from like the microphone or whatever. And I've done a couple of streams like that, and it's been freaking awesome and fun. But it is a little bit cumbersome because you have all this, my phone's connected and, all that stuff. But I like doing that. It's pretty cool. And I think I might do that coming up soon before the whale season ends here. And I want to do a stream where like I'm just chilling out on a cliff with my freaking big 200 to 400 with my teleconverter, and we'll just spot whales. And we'll just like, we'll hunt whales. That'd be sick.
Awesome.
The A7 IV, you're going to get the A7 IV cam. That's nice.
It's super cool. I love that companies are actually allowing people to use their fancy cameras for other stuff. Because, I mean, imagine having a $5,000 camera and then having to buy, a Razer webcam because it's the best gaming one, Like, just let us use our fancy glass, guy.
Yeah.
And
then the old wives' tale about freaking, don't leave. I mean, I don't know. When I was researching like streaming with my D4S, which is like from 2015, and people are like, "Oh, it's gonna ruin your sensor and all this crap," dude. No, my D4S is like perfectly fine. I've done 24-hour streams with it. Having the sensor like engaged that long and stuff, literally, my camera's cherry. Like it's good. It's doing what it's built to do. Video, photo.
I've been pushing this RP for a long time, and I was maybe a little bit hesitant to hook the R5 up to it because I'm just like, one, I don't need to, and all these other things. But the RP, if you're looking for like a Canon streaming camera that is like less than $1,000 US, it's a good option.
Yeah, I think all the companies have their entry levels. Z50, ZFC, Z5. That's the one that I'm using. And like the RP, then like Sony's got theirs. All right. Well, chat.
Get into it.
So what we do with the edit my photos segment, we exchange photos. So me and Mapleglades,
everyone,
we've sent each other 3 photos to edit. No prompt or anything. Just do what you do. And I'm gonna want plugs, and I used to want a tattoo sleeve.
Man, been so cool.
All right, real quick, chat. I'm throwing a link in. If you guys want more of these edit my photos conversation, there's a link to the playlist on our YouTube. We got a plethora of them, and sooner or later, Maple will eventually make his way to that playlist as well. So you guys revisit this lovely conversation. All right, Mapes, here we go. I'm sending you the link.
Let's go.
Now. Bam, there it is.
Oh.
And as always, chat, you're more than welcome to vote on the Raw Challenge. Say you're driving or not driving. No, don't freaking
vote,
operate
guys.
your phone while driving. But if you
had a lot of ties recently, so just every vote matters.
Yep. Okay. Here we go. So
I download this. Just you start.
Chat, what do you want to do? Do you want to see Maple's? Do we want to see the edits that we did with Maple's photos first, or with mine?
Or do you just want to show them the raws first?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm deciding which set we want to start with. Here we go. The 8-ball said we start with my raws that I sent to Mapleglades, and here they are. So all these photos that I sent, they were shot before the 20s. So like 2018, 2019, I believe these were shot around.
Wait. Oh, yours, yeah.
Yeah, so we got this awesome one, and funny enough that they're all portrait. I didn't even realize that. Portrait orientation, but this was a rainbow shot that I did in the morning, and then this one was an engagement shoot that I did for some clients, and then this was like one of my favorite shots that I did, I think, of the year. This couple was so amazing to work with.
So good, dude. I had a blast freaking editing these.
I believe she's from the PNW. Shout out to the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, and then the guys local on Maui. But let's jump into it, shall we? And
let's do it.
I'll start with my edit. Since these are my photos, we'll start with my edit on them.
Let's do it.
So I've got the raw on the left, and there's my edit on the right. All right. So
very cool.
I will say this. I did not touch these. Like, I edited these years ago, and I brought them up as I edited them back then. So yeah, just footnote. But there's my edit. Mapes, take a good look. Let me know what you think.
I'm also looking on my file.
Yeah.
Here. It's honestly, I love it. I love that we went in different directions, because like I had just a dickens of a time editing this. I cropped it down a little bit in mine because I really didn't know what to do with the clouds so much, but I think that the stark heavy contrast in the clouds, and especially with the deep punchy shadows in the bottom, like brings the clouds and the ground together. And that was almost the same reason why. Well, you'll see what I did.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's super punchy.
Yeah.
And still like natural, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I remember seeing this, you know? when I woke up that morning, I was like, dang, that's freaking sick. I mean, of course, you know, the sky probably definitely wasn't as blue as this was, but I really like that the rainbow kind of faded out in the middle there, and it really shows up in the clouds and the mountains. So it's kind of like broken up like that. I don't know. I really like that. And then
it's a very cool, like, it goes from the top, like, you know, you get some blue, and then you get some cloud, and then you get some blue, and then you get some cloud, and then you get some rainbow, and then you get some sky, and then you get the mountains. Like, it's a nice little, like, chick all the way down.
And the freaking light streak too coming across the mountain when the sun rises.
I love that. I love that it was like cutting from the left, like through the rainbow and then down the mountain. I like that.
Sweet. Okay, let's pull up yours and chat. Just so you know, I haven't really looked at Mapes either. When I loaded these into Lightroom, I just loaded them and then like bam. So I'm gonna give you my full on fresh reaction. Sky Master, good to see you, my friend. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here's Mapleglades. All right. Let me do some. Let me click out of here, and I want to zoom in here. So is this cropped for Instagram?
No, this was actually a custom crop. I never custom crop. It just kind of looks like a 4x5, but I just wanted to get a little bit of hang on, let me find my own photo here. Yeah, it's very close to a 4x5, but I went with just a little bit of that cloud. I didn't include that top little section because the way that I was editing this photo with the slightly lower contrast, it felt like a lot of extra dead space. So I did a lot of like just really kind of I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to bring out a bit of that clarity without making it too intense. Yeah. And then I wanted to emphasize the glow around the bottom side of the clouds. Yeah. And then as it kind of works, it's like comes across from the wide as the sun comes in, and then it kind of triangles its way down the mountain. It was kind of like a reverse prism. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I wanted to, just, that like real like soft like mist in the air kind of thing, and just that like soft glow. So very a lot of attention was spent on this for something very, very subtle. So
I like the way you treated the light coming in, really. Like, I really appreciated being able to see the shadowing on the bottom with the ridges. You might not notice it right out the gate, but the light on the clouds right here is a nice touch. I like that you can see that because that's what was happening. You can see that going across here. The glow is really nice.
It's like we get crazy rainbows back where I'm from, like just like end to end, and seeing that like orange glow underneath the clouds, just it feels really natural to me because I've seen that happen like a lot. So just trying, like I think I was using like radial filters and stuff just to on the underside of the clouds where the sun is, to have it just like pop with a little bit of color. And I'm sure there was some in there, but I think I brought in some warmth to areas that maybe didn't have it initially, because I wanted it to be a little bit more like pink, gray, blue, pink, gray, blue.
Yo, what up, Defected? Coming in here to say what's up to Brendan. Yo, what up, Modern? How's it going? If you guys are just coming in today we got a guest on the stream. That is Brendan Friesen, Canadian photographer extraordinaire, opera singer. And so he's coming in. We exchanged raw photos to edit, and we're just comparing editing styles and all that good stuff, figuring out like why we do what we do. If you guys might pick up on anything from us, that's awesome. But we're just here to have a great conversation and drink some delicious coffee. Also, if you guys want to vote in our raw challenge, you can type an ! vote, and you guys can check out all the submissions for this week's challenge. We're going to get to that after the stream, or after after our time with Brendan. So here's the photos that we edited side by side. Definitely very different looks, you know, and it's kind of crazy how you can take one photo in so many different directions, you know. There's a person who loves photos like these and they'll print it and put it up on the wall, and there's people who love this, you know. Maybe there's a magazine that prefers an image edited like this versus this. I think I shot this in 2018. I can't remember 2018, 2017, but if you see my like landscape edits and stuff, I'm very into like, I love like dramatic, moody colors. I love it.
Me too. If anything, I have to have a little bit of restraint sometimes, because I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's just punch that, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
In like a day, you're gonna dial this back. So I almost preemptively restrain myself a little bit, and then like, I mean, if I would have had another week with this, I probably would have punched it up a bit.
Yeah.
But it was definitely within that like threshold of like, yeah, this still like feels like me. But it's I have punchier photos, let's say.
Yeah, that's chill, and that's cool, and you know, that's fine. But I love seeing that, you know, and same, like if I were to edit this today, it would be a little different. Definitely would be a little different. But yeah, awesome. Good first photo. I like it.
Very cool. Very fun. I hope everybody's having fun so far.
All right, here we go.
Let me hear you scream. Yeah, photos.
The second image here. So what was special about this was I was doing their engagement photos, and I told the couple, I was like, hey, we're going to this location. We could either stay at the location, which was like a place called well, we consider Upcountry, which is basically up on the volcano. Cinna, what's up? Good to see you. And it's a spot where it's like switchbacks, and you can just pull over on the side of the road, pop your tailgate, and just sit and watch the sunset from up above Maui. And I was like, we can sit and watch the sunset, or the clouds have descended and we can go into the clouds and get some really nice hazy gray overcast type of shots. And they're like, let's do the clouds, because that's a very, you know, a lot of people do the sunset thing and stuff. So
yeah,
we went to the clouds, and so we found this beautiful tree. I don't even know what it's called, but it has all these yellow little puff flowers on there.
Such a gorgeous tree. I was like, dude,
yeah,
this is a vibe.
The sunset, the sun barely poked through for like a couple seconds, but for the most part it was super hazy and overcast and gray and stuff. So this shot was very moody, and like I believe it was Photo Jojo said, this one has great potential for editing and stuff. So
oh yeah, it was like perfectly under, like just perfectly dark, because it's also, I noticed that with this is that it's shot like I would shoot it, because like I underexpose for highlights basically always, and then bring it back. It's just been so ingrained in me. So when I got like a slightly darker shot, I was like, all right, I feel slightly connected to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the way, you guys can just like straight up call me Maple or Mapes or whatever. It's almost weird having like, not weird having my name out there, but it's like, that's who I am. But like, I'm Mapleglades, guys.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, honestly, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if you changed your Instagram name to Mapleglades. I mean, keeping the branding on point.
I've been tentatively screwing with the idea of just going with Maple, because nobody has that right now, and it's just kind of,
what? No way.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what people think about that idea, but
I like it.
We'll see. Nothing's final. It's
nice. Here we go. Here's my edit.
Cool. Love it.
There's my edit. This one, I said that I didn't touch on them. I didn't re-edit in Lightroom, but what I did was I did bring this into Photoshop, and I retouched the skin.
I noticed because that. It's nice.
If you noticed his skin, it had a little, you know, like some redness on his cheek, and like, you know, some like kind of acne stuff going on. But there's my edit. During this scene, the golds and the black, I really love that. Like the warm skin and stuff.
It was arguably easy to edit because it was such a nice like color initially. I was like, all right, let's go. It was already great. Let's just push it.
All right, what you think?
Oh man, I love the subtlety, like because it's just we actually like I quickly, like when I saw yours, I was like, oh, we approached it in a very similar way. I like the fade. The gold, the chain is particularly like gold. I think you went maybe a little bit warmer than me, but we'll have to see. My eyes might just be dead. But yeah, I love the skin. It looks real natural, and yeah. I really don't know what else to say. I really like this photo, and basically anything that comes out of it, I was like, yeah, this is sweet. I love this. There's the yeah,
and let me remind you, bro, it's totally fine to be like, I not really liking, this, like that's totally fine to say. Just, but
no, the only thing that I did that was like slightly different that I noticed from this is I brought my whites highlights down of the glow, like the sheen on his
head,
forehead and her nose a little bit down. But
yeah,
I mean, sometimes you like it depends on the photo, because sometimes it's nice to have that so it doesn't just look flat, right? It's like it's dreamlike in its own way, and some people are gonna love that, and some people are gonna be like, no, I feel glossy. But I think this is like a really nice balance.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and looking back on this, I
raided my stream with 23 viewers.
Yo, what up everyone? Welcome into the stream. Zerg, good to see you, my friend. I appreciate the raid. All 23 friends, welcome in to the stream. It's good to see you. Chat, so what we're doing today is we got a special guest on stream today. We've exchanged some raw photos. We edited each other's images, and our guest here is my man Mapleglades. You guys can check him out. Here's all the links. His Instagram,
Jamie
his Twitch.
Butterfly. As Dominic Toretto would say, welcome to the family.
No, we're stream editing, photography stuff, and hang out. And it's always a good time. So come hang out if you want. You can follow me somewhere, I assume.
Lecture, I knew this welcome to the Light Den Academy.
Dude, Lecture, thank you so much for that gifted sub to Zergs. Dude, Zerg, enjoy those emotes. And Grav, Lech, and Gingy, thanks for the follows. I appreciate that.
Welcome to the greatest show.
All right. Sorry, that was my bad on my end. The reason why you froze. No worries.
No,
we're back.
That's totally fine. You wanna give a little recap for everybody on this one?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like a 30-second pop back in.
Yeah, dude, Dust, thank you also for the follow. Yeah, chat, here's the guest. Again, the links there. Twitch is Maple's Twitch, Instagram. But I got him on stream. We exchanged raw photos to edit in the way we like to. And we're discussing the differences and all that good stuff. So we're in this second image currently. And we're looking at the photo that I edited. And then we're going to look at his take on my shot. So welcome in, guys. Zerg, I hope you had a great stream, my friend. I hope you had a great stream. Appreciate the raid.
Thank you for the raid.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and look at your edit now, Mr. Mapleglades.
Let's do it. Let's jump in.
So we've got the raw here on the left side, and then bam, here's Mapleglades. All right, let me give you my stuff. I freaking love this skin. I love it. It's
thanks, dude.
Maybe just a tinge too pale, but I like it because
totally.
It's like, for me, mine's more pushed, and like I feel like you can overdo it versus dial it back, to be safe on that. which I really like. And I see you did some retouching as well, which looks nice. And then you added in this glow. What else did you do? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Photoshop expert. I went in, did a little bit of, getting rid of the stuff that is probably going to be gone in a week, stuff like that. I think I did some work on her shoulder a little bit there. Just, clearing up some stray hairs. I think I dialed back the shine on the nose and the forehead a little bit, but I mean, I'm not like a frequency separator expert and stuff like that, so I didn't do any of that. Most of my stuff was all in Lightroom. And I brought a little bit of this section up in the top above their heads. Yeah. I radial filtered that a little bit to make the back of that bush pop, and then I think I brought a little bit more from the right side, not just from the flare, but just to bring a little bit of that detail in, so it's not just a black void, Yeah,
the black void. I feel that.
But yeah, it's like I see it, and I'm even for me, I'm like, it is on the lower side of my my saturation. But I knew with something like this, it's so warm, it has the potential to be so pushed. Where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that thing that I was talking about, where I'm preemptively dialing back my like punchy contrast a little bit, just to get that like, glowy golden hour vintagey kind of look. Yeah. And I also I hit his skin with a little bit of green tint because it was leaning more pink than hers was. Yeah. So
he had that going on for sure.
So, and then beyond that, I was just like, zooming in, looking at random areas, and been like, oh, how can I, make this what stands out? Like, if I was giving this a critique, like, what would I say about it? And then just kind of go from there. So that was kind of it. It's just kind of, it's a little it's a little conservative with the saturation, but I like that green warm shadow look for this a lot. It glues it all together, and I'd be happy with a set like this, but I wouldn't be mad at pushing the saturation a little bit more. But it's, at this point, it's completely like preference. It's like whatever.
Yeah, and you definitely can see the difference on the saturation on the skin on both. And like I like the dialed back look on yours. Like it, I know I don't mean to like whatever, but I feel like there's a middle ground somewhere on the skin tones. Like
somewhere, like my powers combined.
Yeah, I love it. So good to see, and you did a good job for doing a lot of the retouching in Lightroom.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Very much so, Photo Jojo. And then I'm gonna throw the raw right next to it. So there you go, bam. There's the 3. I'm glad you had fun enjoying it or editing it though.
It was a blast. When I was playing around with Photoshop and was like, I wonder how a flare would look, and I put it in and was like, there it is. There's that special sauce. The guy just throws flares on everything, but I think it warmed up that corner a little bit. I think if I could do it again, I think I might bring that flare lower, because this is a golden hour, right? So the sun is not coming softly from above, which the sun has literally never done. Like, just to have it come a little bit more from the side. So if I brought it down like another few degrees, I think I'd be more happy with it. Because if you'll notice in the top, it's a little bright in the top right corner for me now that I'm looking at it today. But that's like what I would shift, but it's pretty close to where I would want it to be as a final deliverable. Yeah.
Rad. All right.
Very cool.
Moving on to the last image that I sent Mapleglades, and then we'll move on to his photos. We got this one, another engagement session that I did at one of Maui's more popular beaches. I won't say which. But we got the island of Molokini in the background, a very popular snorkel spot. And then this island over here is Ko'olave, which the U.S. military used to bomb. And it's got all kinds of stuff. The water table cracked, so that's why no one lives there. There's no freaking vegetation or anything like that. They're trying to restore it anyways. There we go. During sunset time, we got this nice little image, and we'll pull up my edit first. 3, 2, 1.
We went in a shockingly similar direction.
All right, tell me what you think.
All right, Aaron's edit 3. Boom, and we full screen. I did have this open. I love the punchiness of it. It feels a little bit like just like grab your attention, like movie poster, like Nicholas Sparks style, you know, just like the one thing I notice right away is the bit of fringing from masking them.
Yes.
I think it's just in raising it was giving a little bit of a warmer hue, like around the top of her head.
Yeah.
And it kind of just makes it look a little bit like it was maybe sky replaced or something.
Yeah.
A little bit. But that's really the only thing. I love the skin tones. I like how much brighter you went than me. But
yeah.
I like the water. I like the shine on the rocks. It feels I feel like I can feel this photo. Like it feels like, you know, I gotta watch where I'm stepping or I might slip. I like what you did with the clouds. It's easy to push these kind of sunset shots a little bit too hard, and I think you're right on the edge where it's that sweet spot. Because when you've got these little hues and stuff, and if you punch up that, you know, that dehaze and that contrast and stuff, sometimes the colors kind of become just distinct lines, and it's nice that it's still looking like the colors are blending together. Yeah. The other thing that I noticed in my own edit was this chromatic aberration that's happening on the island. It looks a little green to me, off to the right side, but that's like hyper zoomed nitpicking.
No, that's good.
And it, I just think that this picture looks a lot better without any green in it at all. But other than that, like I love the detail on them. I love their skin tones. I love that it's like that good old peachy, like I think it's actually even a little bit more desaturated than me. But it's tight. We went in such a similar direction that I'm like awesome, great.
So good.
It's gonna be fun if you can, you know, close your eyes, shake your head around, and then like remember which one is which.
Yeah. You know, this is the good old days back before Lightroom introduced the AI subject select and sky select. You know, it's a still very new feature that I feel like is, you know, but, you know, critiquing myself, I mean, I can see where I brushed in, you know, where I missed. You know, you can see the warmth on his shirt, and then it's cold right here where I may have missed the brushing here and maybe like there. And then you're totally right on about the, you know, with the glowing around them. I mean, that's the classic thing, you know, like when I look at people's photos and you can tell that they brush the couple in, I always like look for that. How well did they do brushing them in with like the edging, you know? And like my time in Lightroom, I spent a lot of time freaking brushing and like practicing. And like I said, this was like 2018 or whatever, but you know, back then I was doing a lot of brushing and stuff. And, you know, it'd be interesting to edit this nowadays with the AI selection and to be able to see like how it does.
I would be curious.
But I totally agree. And one thing too that I'm just critiquing myself on is, you know, shooting this at 1/160. It's not, they got a little blur to them. You know, it's not like tack sharp kind of thing. So that, like, I mean, that's just me. I'm thinking like, you know, I want to.
The thing is that, and this is something like I have a friend here who in Montreal, and he's a very sought after wedding photographer, and a lot of the times his shots are so banging, and I'm like, I know that I would never get these shots because I'm not bold enough to just go out shooting at 1/60th, you know, capturing that blurry, lovey, dreamy moment. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, it has to be like technically correct all the time, and it's like it has to be tack sharp. It's like, no, dude, not for this. I don't think it's so. just like in the moment, that any sort of like, it's like, I don't need to see how sharp his glasses are. I don't need to see every pore of skin. Like, this feels much more about the moment than the technical aspect. And I think it's nailed. And I love the slightly lower shutter speed just to like blur that water just a little bit if there is any stuff that's going to be, you know, super freezing or whatever.
I agree, and I think there's like with that kind of thinking, you know, I feel like I'd rather be on like the extreme than in the middle. Like if I wanted to blur them,
like,
I would.
If you're gonna go there like just you know, fall to the wall, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like in this moment, I was trying to just get them more like sharp versus trying to like get, because that's the cool effect of this. And you know, maybe I missed the opportunity. I can't remember, but I think I did bring it down, so I did get some flow action on here. Those are other raws and images, but on this particular image, yeah, definitely. And then but I agree. I think there's a lot of wedding photographers out here where I look at their stuff and, you know, they got the messy motion blurred moment that looks beautiful, like in black and white, just like a classic just look, you know.
The thing is that you got to be able to flip back and forth between those blurry moments and the tack sharp ones, because if the whole thing is blurry, either you're shooting 5,000 photos or, you know, you have to be, you know, alternating, because some of those blurry ones are going to be just blurry. They aren't going to look like a moment. They aren't going to look like a lot of things. So being able to just like, I'm going to push it for a couple shots here and then jump back to ones that I know are going to work. Like but that's that being dynamic on the fly thing. But yeah, I think this is sick, dude.
Nice. All right, here we go, chat. We're gonna bring up Mapleglades again. Here's the raw, putting it up on the left side. Whoopsies. Bam, there it is. Yo, what up, David? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. We got the raw on the left, and then notice too on the raw, like, you know, and we're gonna see on yours, you kept a lot of the foreground. And so we're going to check that out right now. All right, so we got the raw on the left, and we've got the maples on the right. Tell me what you did, and then I will chime in.
So I was sticking to as you know, I was talking about just like the realism as well. So like I allowed it to be a little bit darker. I wanted to have that glow coming across. If you zoom in, which is now it might be arguably too subtle as I was working on it yesterday, but I wanted to, I put a little bit of a flare in the sky. So the sky is a tiny little bit warmer and along these rocks. And then I painted out behind the rocks because they wouldn't be as glowy. And then I had a little bit of that flare like on her hair and kind of on her dress and kind of around them, but kind of let them be dark because they are backlit. Yeah. So it's kind of this dramatic moment. I do think that now that I'm looking at it today, I would want to push those shadows up just a little bit, but I didn't want it to look like they were pasted on a background where the light was coming from somewhere else. And I think that that's something that takes a lot of practice to find that balance between, okay, the sun is there, but they're so bright. Is there a sun coming from this side, or, you know, did they have like an off camera flash? You know, are they getting light from both ways? And I like the natural light photography style of, you know, just let the warmth wrap around them and light them kind of from the edges, but the middle, the part that's furthest away from the light source, is allowed to be dark. That was kind of my like thinking. Now that I'm looking at it today, I'm like, oh, this is definitely evening, or like like it is sunset. Nobody's like, oh yeah, this is morning. You know, it seems kind of golden hour-y. I might push it a little bit further, brightness wise, but yeah, it was pretty subtle. I added I think a little bit of grain to glue it together because it was, you know, like you said, not super tack sharp.
Yeah.
So it just adds a little bit of that texture to the blank sky.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went along to that back island and tried to take a little bit of that green aberration out. But and then just kind of, did a layer mask on the brightest wet parts of the rock to bring that out a little bit, and then added a little bit of a warmth to the water in the bottom left corner.
Yeah.
Just to kind of tie the fact that the light is coming from the back across the rocks and is still warming that water. The water initially for me when I was getting close to finishing was looking a little bit cold in the bottom left. So that was my approach. What are your thoughts? Tear me apart, dude. What did I do wrong?
Well, nothing wrong for sure. I like the look. I love the skin tone on the couple big time. Like, I like how they look. Adding in that flare up in the sky is really nice too, because it kind of gives some texture. And I think about when you first did your raw challenge edit, on that New York photo, and you added some texture and stuff in the sky, and it just made things look fantastic.
Like eight cloud layers at about 12% opacity.
Yeah. One thing that Shu, I don't know if anyone in the chat knows Shu, but he's one of the OG streamers. But one thing I learned from him and what he loves to say is, he says, F the sky, like frick the sky, like when it comes to like engagement, wedding, stuff like this, like the couple is the star of the show, and before, like, I came as a surf landscape photographer, and like, landscape sunsets is important for me. So, early on I would like try and save the sky, but like more than ever recently, I'm just like, dude, frick the sky, dude. I want the emotion from the people. I've been
doing that a little bit more lately too, where it's like, just let it blow out.
Yeah.
Everything else is bright. The sky can't be, too brought down,
Yeah. So I don't know, Zerg asked something in the chat, and I don't know if it was meant for me, but he was asking, you shoot this as a silhouette, and for, I don't think I don't have any shots where it is a silhouette, that would be really nice. I'm kind of looking through the gallery right now, and I'm like, it's bringing back so many memories. But
do some magic and make it pretty close to a silhouette, though. It's not a super bright shot, so
yeah. I mean, well, here's the rest of the shots. Like, this one was another one of my favorites from there, with like the palm trees, and then I got them up on the rocks to do this kind of thing.
Nice. I love that. I love that sandy shadow look. Oh, so good.
And they were just like, they're really good at like just posing in their looks, and there's so many different, because we had a lot of sun from the sunlight, and it gave some warmth, and then it went away, and then it was kind of cold. You like your frame with the tree, nice. So it was really fun, definitely a fun place. The thing about this location though, it gets super busy with tourists, and very popular spot to get married at and eloped and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm glad they loved it.
More of the frame with the crop.
Have you tried copying down the sky? Go ahead.
Yeah, just responding to Photo Joe, he was asking, have you tried cropping down the sky just to fill the couple with more of the frame? I guess you could, but I like the breathing room. If anything, if the sky to me was a little bit too boring, I might even add a little bit of like cloudy texture above it, just to have it not be such an empty space. But honestly, I like how they sit in the frame. I would maybe crop in like a little bit, but they're sitting right on that thirds line. They're right in the middle. You could make it a pretty good argument for bringing them a little bit down in the frame by cropping. But yeah, the sky's kind of the limit with this one.
Yeah, Zerg says throw some color in the sky too. Yeah, so definitely.
That was my approach to throwing a flare in there. You can see off to the left side it's a little bit more faded orange, but I think I probably could have gone a little bit further with that now that I'm looking at it the next day. Real quick, we're just gonna we're gonna touch on the itch that
photo JoJo's got, and we'll crop down a lot on the sky. We'll throw the couple in that top right third, and
that's a cool one too.
I think for me, what really works is having, I don't know, it's weird, but like it makes me feel weird cropping out the island in the back. It's not like a huge important piece of the image, right?
Yeah,
you want to have.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't even know if Joe wants it to go that far. I think just like probably like a 25% crop in overall, and then just adjust them from there, like something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But I like the island in the back too. I like that it isn't just a flat horizon.
Yeah, something like that, and just play with that. We'll start with your edits now.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so I'm bringing up Maple's.
Let me pull mine up here.
The raw's on the left, chat, and then Mapleglades edit is on the right.
Take a good old flaming look at my father there, hanging out by the campfire.
Nice.
So, my approach to this was, I didn't want to make it too black and too intense, because that fire in that raw is super punchy. And so basically I faded the blacks a little bit, brought up the overall exposure. I was going for kind of that not specifically teal and orange, but like a blue and orange desaturated vintage kind of look. I wanted to make it glow more on his face. The shadows on his arm were given some really strange colors when you start to like really pull it. Like the image was starting to fall apart a little bit. So I was lightening, like his elbow, his arm. His elbow is a little bit brighter than his face. It's a little bit closer to the fire. Threw a little bit of grain on there. There was already plenty of grain. Blue and orange.
Yep.
Yeah, but a little bit. I tried to gray out the sky a little bit, but I didn't want it to be just gray, because then it kind of just looks like it looks edited in my head.
Yeah.
For the sky at this time of night and stuff to be just completely gray. So I was like, I'll just bring it down a little bit, and then I kind of toggled with like, do I want it a little bit more cyan, or I want it leaning purple. I like the combination of the colors in this one, but I could be coerced either way to make the sky less teal and more purple, because that that nighttime dusk kind of look is like very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like very cool, but it's like very cold.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't have maybe the tropical blue sky in the background, but I've seen the sky do this, so it was within my convictions to allow it.
Mm-hmm.
But
there are some beautiful places with the crash in orange you could play with here. Oh, I was reading chat. I love the glow on his face. It's away the edge here so that you can see more of his like hand, and then I did another one, inverted it so that I could actually I think I just did one, but I did one and then I erased away from the I can't talk. Erased away from the back so that it wasn't too bright in the background when I was editing. But I also threw more orange on him, like raised the white balance on him, so that you get more like the orange glow from the fire. But yeah. What do you think?
It's I like that we went in different directions. I was like, oh, it's dark, let's make it dark, dude. And then yours was bringing it up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I actually don't mind that the did you clip the blacks on this one a bit, or is it this is the original blacks? I don't know. I'm also looking into a light dome here, so I'm like
honestly, I'm not sure. You know what? I think I did. I think I remember seeing on Lightroom and the blue stuff was showing up.
Yeah, I feel like it's even when I'm looking at ours like beside each other, one is like it's 2:00 and I'm lighting this fire like in the woods. Mm-hmm. And the left is probably closer to real life, where it was just, it feels a little bit more.
Thanks for following the Like Den Academy. Rachie_babe.
I don't even mind that the fire is blown out a bit. It has that real like tangible look to it, where it's like he's brighter.
Yeah.
The fire's brighter. It doesn't have that weird HDR trigger in our head that's like, oh well, that's weird. That's a lot of dynamic range, Mm-hmm. I noticed that you left the green in there in the grass, like surrounding him and off to the right side.
I didn't notice that. I didn't see that legit.
But
interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of the same thing with when I was doing the couple photo, that it was leaning into that, that rustic salmon pink and blue. And the green aberration around the island, I was like, goodbye. You do not belong in this color spectrum.
Yeah.
But I went through and desaturated
nice
green a little bit. But I like that your orange is leaning even a little bit more yellow, and your blue is true more to blue. Like I think we just took our hues and stretched them in slightly different directions, which is great. Mine went a little bit more to the my oranges were a little bit more red, and my blues were a little bit more teal gray.
Yeah. And
then yours are more blue with a more complementary color of orange. So I like it. It's a real nice vibe. I like it. Is that enough? Did I do good?
Nah, it's good. Photo Jojo wants to know, what do you have against green, man?
What do I have against green? A lot of I like green. I just find it's like that guy at the party who can be great, and you love it when he's there at specific parties. But then if you just throw him into any party, he's probably going to be a little bit of a raucous, And I select quite intentionally when I give attention to green. And
that is a fantastic example.
It's like we love him. We love him for who he is, or she, and we just know that sometimes if it's just not the vibe, you keep that circle of friends of colors.
What's his name? Smaller. Is that Kevin? Is that Kevin?
Gary, Green Gary, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. The rods and cones in our eyes are built to see color green more than anything else. Are you freaking serious, Photo Jojo? Are you pulling my leg?
It tells us where the Earth is, which is an instinctive thing that we need to know.
Dude, Rachie, thanks so much for coming with Zerg. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Rachie, have a good one. Drop by either of our streams sometime. Remember, you guys can follow me over at Mapleglades. Shameless plugs.
There's a link, chat.
I don't
Exclamation mark guest.
56 people in here hanging out, so.
Okay, awesome. If I were to go back and re-edit, definitely would pay more attention to that green. Also, wouldn't mind, bringing down the shadows more on his body. I feel like it's very kind of bright, but
I do like that you can see more of the inner of the. Hang on one second, let me pull up mine. I mean, I like what I did, but I think that I could have afforded to go a little bit further with bringing out the brightness of the rim of the fire pit.
Yeah.
And
I
like the glow around the fire. It makes the fire not just look like it's coming out of nothing.
Yeah.
And I think just at like a quick glance, it's like, oh, what is that? Like, you kind of have to look close to know that it's contained.
Yeah.
Because when we're looking at them side by side, it just looks like the fire in mine is coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I think I could have pushed that a little bit further in the bottom, but
yeah.
I just crushed those blacks, dude.
Yeah, you freaking crushed that. Love it. Nah, it's good. I like the self-evaluation. I like that, and it's, while you're at it, it's like important to like, think back, like, hey, what's fire do, and obviously, yeah, it probably would be brighter around the rim down there, but again, it's freaking art too, you take it in whatever direction you want to do it.
It's just part of my brain, and maybe it's from watching all the VFX corridor digital videos where they're like, oh, actually in real life, it would interact this way, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I should bring that into my photo editing and be like, what's realistic but also stylized and punchy? Like, it's
good stuff, man. Here we go, chat. There's the raw, there's my edit, and there is Mapleglades. Bam. Also, just a reminder,
exposing an image.
Guys, you're more than welcome to throw a vote for the raw challenge out there. Voting is open currently. We're gonna get to it once we're done with our guests on stream today. You guys can check out the vote. There it is. Bam, bam. There's the links. Thank you already for all the votes. So far, Mapes, guess what? We don't have a tie anywhere. I don't see a tie.
Really?
We're up 15 votes. No ties. I like it. All right. Moving on to the next image. Now, this one was very interesting, bro. What's the story on this one? Spill the tea.
All right, so spill the tea. I have a friend here in the city who flies for like a helicopter company.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, flying some folks around, and it's just like, hey, like, you want to go fly in this weekend?
So she's
or whatever?
a pilot.
Like, yeah, so she's a pilot. Freaking so sick. And so we.
Are you scared of heights? Are you scared of this kind of stuff?
You know what? No. A helicopter is really, really weird. Because
would you do open door?
Yeah, we flew with the doors off. I had my legs hanging out, but I got ugly legs, so none of those photos turned out.
Nice.
It was not a day to wear shorts, The chopper blades are a lot more intense on the fabrics. Start blowing it up your thighs, and it's like, dude, I gotta do more squats, man. Like, the calves are fine, but we're getting a little bit too much up here. So
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, flying with the doors off or the doors open is freaking super fun.
Real quick, chat. I have to apologize because the image that I loaded into Lightroom is not true. It's a little blurry on my end, so I do apologize for that. Okay, so you were out flying with a friend.
That it's a lot sharper. We didn't just unblur things.
Yeah. So you're out flying with a friend, and you just happen to be hiding in the bushes. You got your friend to do.
Yeah, we flew. This is a tiny little island, actually, that is on the St. Lawrence River. Probably like a 20-25 minute flight from downtown Montreal, and we took it around the city. And I was like, oh man, do I want to get like an aerial view for this edit? And then I was like, nah, this is just kind of a sick shot.
Yeah.
So we flew from the city around the mountain and then up along the water and landed on this little island. and then just like hung out and skipped rocks and hung out and stuff. And then we got back in the helicopter and flew back.
Yeah. Oh man, helicopters are weird. They don't feel like heights. I work for the company in New York that did open doors. Nice.
That's the thing about like what I was gonna say is that you kind of just you feel like a little bit of the lift, but then you just kind of see the ground kind of disappear, but it feels stable. Feels like a flying car, much more than a plane does.
Yeah.
Plane, it goes up, you feel like you're going fast. A helicopter's like, oh, okay, I'm looking out and I can see that, you know, the grass is blowing like crazy, but you feel pretty secure. So
yeah.
All right. So
yeah, what'd you do?
Boom. Look at me going on a desaturated train.
Yep.
I wanted to do something with keeping some greens, you know, just to say I don't have anything against green, you know, it's just it can be a vibe, you know. So
caught red-handed, bro.
A lot of this shot is mostly yellow, not green, which is weird because like if you go into the HSL and you start screwing around with the green, it doesn't make that big of a difference. It's mostly yellow. So I brought that yellow over towards green and then desaturated it, brought up the luminance to give that sparkle, and then kind of did the same thing with the green, just desaturated it a bit. Skies, it's got that hint of it might have a little bit of blue in it, but it's pretty gray. I think that it just complements the green a little bit more. Nature's very cool when you look at it and it's like, wow, big green field and a big blue sky. We've all seen the Windows XP background. It looks incredible, but you know, for this particular shot, I was gonna leave it a little bit more gunmetal gray, you know?
Yeah.
So I went through, I dehazed and brought down the kind of the orangey glow that was coming off of the red helicopter, like, and just kind of punched it, made it a little bit more stealthy looking, and just sparkled things up a little bit. I lit her up a little bit more. I tried to do that same thing where it's like the sun is coming from the other direction, so I didn't want to light her too much that it looked like I had a backlight, because you know, otherwise she just looks like a stamp. And in this day and age, when you can literally add anything to anything, people are throwing airplanes between buildings, perfectly symmetrical, they've got birds flying around stuff, it's like my brain just says that's fake if it looks a little bit out of place. So it's like, no, this is like a real shot that actually like looks this way. So, you know, trying to preserve a little bit of that natural side while keeping it stylized. Yeah. And and then I also used a color mask and really tried to bring out the purple that sparkles across the flowers in here. There's a tiny little flare that was happening just like a triangle between her and the helicopter down about like 2 feet in the frame. There's a little green
I see it,
a little flare there
right here.
That was something I just didn't get to. I probably would like to
clear
that up in the future, but that's my own very specific self critique there.
There it is.
But
chat, sorry,
else I think kind of works. I like the tinge of orange with actually letting the green be a little bit more green, but then my vibe is like just not too punchy, but you know, a little cool, you know?
Yeah.
So,
how'd your friend like the photo?
Great. Yeah. She's got some sweet shots from that trip. So
sweet.
And I dehazed the middle a little bit and brought up that brightness just to have that, like, you know, that thing where you say frick the sky, man.
Yeah.
You know, the sun's coming down, it's glowing all kind of hazy and stuff. I didn't want to have the sun be like the spotlight. I want to just, the sky's just kind of bright. I also think that works for when you're desaturating the sky, to have it be overblown, because then it's closer to that white, and I don't know. Yeah,
I like it. Very stark. Like one thing that I really was looking forward to having you on is you do have that look, man, the teal orange, the desaturated stuff, you know, and it looks really good. Like even just scrolling through your Instagram profile and stuff and looking through that, something that I've never really done much of, you know, so I really wanted to see like the different looks and approach, you know. So
Totally.
All right, here is
all right. Let's see it.
the edit that I did.
Looks like a 70s film slide. Yeah, it kind of does. I dig it.
Bam. So let me tell you what I did.
I like yours. I like it a lot.
I did an AI selection on the subject, and it selected her and the helicopter. So I kind of raised up the look on it so you can see the chopper, you know, more of the color and the details inside.
Totally.
And then you know, even though the sun's coming from the other way, she's pretty lit up in the back. So like what you were saying earlier about
I like that we can see where the glow from the sun feels really intense in this shot, and in my brain it justifies her being brighter.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And when you raise that up, you can really see that.
What I did, but it totally works.
Yeah, you can see the reflection of her in the chopper, and then I threw, yo, what up, Gorilla Vanilla? I threw a linear gradient on the bottom, you know, so just to darken up down here to bring your attention there, you know, because you might have too much green in here, so I wanted to darken it. And then I also threw a radial filter coming down so that it brings your attention more to the center, because like you said, it is bright. I feel like maybe I'd feather it in a little bit better. You can really see it if you like kind of zoom out.
It was soft, like especially around the chopper and around the sun. It had this kind of softness to it that you know, and it's also reflecting all of that green and yellow, right? Like, so it's getting this kind of funky color, but if you embrace it like you did, like, it looks great. I also like the bottom graduated filter, just from the bottom, just to bring your eye like into the scene.
Yeah.
I had that same thought, but also with bringing that luminance down, it really makes that those purple flowers punch. And I noticed a lot more of the purple flowers in yours, which I think would be something that I would go back to mine and try to find a way to bring that a little bit more of that richness out in it. But yeah, I love what you did. I also like that you you still left it on a little bit of that angled horizon. It kind of feels like, and I kind of wrestled with this. I was like, do I want the chopper to be straight up and down or whatever? So mine is a little bit more straight, but it kind of feels like the image is kind of, you get led from the bottom left, and then it swirls. It does that swirl pattern, and you kind of look at her, and then the whole image kind of feels like it's pulling her into the helicopter. You know, it feels like you can't help but go in and go for another flight or something like that. So I like the angle, and then I just you know what, Gorilla, you're gonna have to get all the way off my back about the ums. That's how I talk. I'm trying to be better. But yeah, it's cool. I really like the cloud glow and texture that you did. It feels like there's a lot more like texture. There's more interesting things happening in your sky than mine, and I like it. On my edits that I did, I normally, like with my engagements and weddings, you know, I will start with a preset and go from there. But like with these, I used my monogram, the shadows, midtones, and highlights, you know, wheel, and I've funkified it all, so that kind of really helped to bring that stuff out. But going back to the cropping too, I did try cropping it level, but I was like, I don't know, like I feel like it is level, but the ground is just slanted, you know. So I kind of was like, I'm just gonna go back to the original crop, you know. Just I guess you could probably look at I would use the trees maybe for reference and not the horizon line. Yeah,
we're looking at Maple's photos here.
I shot this.
We're looking at Mapes' images. Yeah. But we are comparing and contrasting the editings and stuff like that. I will say
these two we definitely had our, like, we went in different directions with this one, I think, more than the other ones.
I didn't know what to do with this when I was looking at it, you know.
Dude, I didn't either.
I was like,
this is
what am I
cool.
gonna do? But it ended up being my favorite out of them all to edit. Definitely.
I like how it's just like a friggin' spotlight down on how awesome that day is.
There you go, chat. The raw all the way on the left, mine in the middle, Mapes on the right.
You got the punchy and you got the moody.
Yeah. All right, here we go, chat. On to the last image.
The last image.
It's a squirrel in a tree. Holy crap. Why is... Okay, there we go. Wait, no, it's still blurry. Why? I don't know. I'm sorry, chat. All right. What's going on here?
All right, this is off of my... I shot this off of my back, my little step-out balcony thing. And there are blackberry bushes right on front, so I got a nice down angle at this squirrel that comes and hangs out on the top. So, you know,
Does it come there all the time?
Yeah, fairly regularly, especially in the summer. You know, it's just they're just full of green leaves, and the squirrels are there eating the blackberries and stuff. And the birds come by too, and they sit on top because it's a.
You ever feed them?
It's kind of rare that you get kind of a down, flattering portrait of a squirrel who's also on top of something.
Yeah. You ever feed them?
Yeah, they don't love they don't love bread as much as blackberries, you'd think, but I don't have any seeds with me. All the seeds I have are back in the farm.
Squirrel seed.
Hey BC, what's going on?
Connolly, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day at work. Was it second day on the job or what? Yeah, awesome. Let's go with your edit first here.
Let's do it.
Bam!
This was a pretty moody one, but it was like a warm moody.
Moody squirrels, man.
I am my own person.
Yep.
So, with this one, I was not like heavily influenced. I just think that the style of it worked. Hang on one sec. There, I can find it. I wanted this gray look, but I love warm wood, like that
warm wood.
Warm wood with a nice desaturated green, kind of low contrast, low clarity, high sharpness, especially in the areas where you want to look.
Yeah.
It feels soft. And you look at it and it's like, it's subtle. It's like a nice coffee.
Yeah.
On a chill afternoon, it's raining outside. It's just the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, so what I did, I went and masked out. I drew in a little bit more warmth in the branches that are leading off frame, and also brightened them just a little bit of a hair, to make sure that they were a little bit more consistent with the warmer parts of the image that are in the middle where the squirrel is.
Yeah.
Also on the squirrel, color noise is something that I go after like a heat-seeking missile. So I zoom in super far and just see where all through the course of editing the image, if I'm pushing my shadows or any of that contrast too far, and you get that weird blue and purple and everything that, you know, where you see the image falling apart. I'm just cranking that color noise fairly regularly between like 10 and 15, just a little bit off. Not actual noise reduction, but color noise. Because especially when you have little sharp textures like his fur and stuff, the sensor doesn't know what to do with those really tiny pixels, and it can look kind of gross. So don't forget about color noise. It happens when you start pushing your images. I brought down the blue. Obviously, there was a little bit more blue on the road. There's lots of...
That's a road?
With the helicopter. Oh, this is me shooting from my balcony over the blackberry bush, and that gray background is actually the street.
Oh, I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, it's the road behind. So, I went in, got rid of the blue. On his face, I took kind of like a W shape that goes from his eye to his nose to the middle of his head to the bottom of his eye, and kind of sharpened up a little bit because it was a little bit soft. Because if I'm being really honest with myself, the lens just focused on the back side of the eye, not at the whatever.
It barely missed.
So just I wanted to sharpen that up, brighten it up a little bit to, bring your attention to the front of his face so it wasn't so soft. And desaturated some of the purple and magenta tones that were coming through in the fur, and just kind of kept it a very Becky and Chris style, muted gray, little bit of a fade, but feels like a warm cabin in the rain kind of vibe. I have two presets that I've kind of made and used myself, and one is Mordor and one is Mirkwood.
Okay.
And this one is
Mirkwood.
The Mirkwood preset. I'm just kind of playing with it, but thinking about doing some Lord of the Rings style presets to keep, creative.
Yeah. Have you watched Lord of the Rings extended versions?
Have you even seen Lord of the Rings if you haven't?
Yeah. I when I got freaking the extended versions, man, they're amazing. It's necessary. It's so necessary.
Absolutely. Theater versions is just because the theater made them do it, but you should watch the extended. Let's be real.
Hell yeah. All right, dude. I love this. I love the look and color of it. And
I also brought it in and said, another self-critique. At the back, you will notice some wacky color degradation that is happening on the back leaves.
Yeah.
Where the pixels are starting to look a little bit weird and fringy.
Yeah.
If I had more, not to say if I had more time, if I had more experience dealing with these kind of fringes and how to level them out a little bit, and probably Photoshop would help me a little bit there.
Yeah.
But adding just that hair of grain to glue the whole thing together, I think made it less, maybe noticeable, but I don't know. It's a little weird. And that's me being like, there's always room to improve.
Yeah. Well, great. I mean, I looked at this and I'm like, what the heck am I gonna do with this shot? So let me show you. All right. For my crop, I went with the good old put it on the right, intersection lines or whatever.
I saw you working with this and I was like, all right.
It was fairly natural, especially compared to yours. He's chilling on a tree. He's, in yours, he's chilling on some kale trees or something.
Yeah,
with the colors.
Totally,
I was like, look at it, it's like spinach. But I love your crop. Looking back at it, I mean, really, what we're trying to see here? We're not trying to see more of the tree. We're trying to see
cropped in, which
the squirrel.
I think was a good call. Even if yours is off to the side, I think that killing that top left nonsense that's happening on the blackberry bush is a good idea.
Killing this right here. Get rid of this. It's doing nothing for you.
I also like that in your crop, you get a little bit more room for this branch to swirl around.
Yeah.
Off to the left, so it's like you get it kind of. It's like the tree is like given one of these, just putting his little branch arm around him. He's like, yeah, this is my little buddy.
Yeah.
And then it kind of it looks a little bit more like he's being hugged by the tree as opposed to poking out. And I think the composition still works great.
Yeah. There we're getting real close here, chat. So you really sharpened it up, which I really like. I didn't do that. I didn't sharpen up anything. I just kind of left it as is.
You can also see where I took out the magenta kind of like under
this right here
skin of the chest area and on his hands.
Yeah, he's got a little blueberry on his his fur.
That's just it. It's actually probably blackberry juice.
Blackberry juice. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So I messed with the colors, warmed it up a bit. I also threw a radio filter on it to darken down the sides, because it's a lot of green and I didn't want that to distract
an immense amount
from
of green.
This. So, and then plus I didn't want to bring it too dark. Then it looks like you really got this, radio filter going on. So wanted to be very subtle.
Super, I was going to say supernatural, but it looks
supernatural. There you go. So yeah, I mean that's it. Kind of like
it
basic.
Leans into that lime green color, like with the yellowiness that I am so hesitant to dig into, but I still like it. Like I think people would look at it and be like, oh, that's nice. It's bright. It has that crisp kind of citrusy limeness to it, and mine looks like, a moody kale tree.
Yeah, definitely. So,
different directions. I love it. I love that we went so different with this one.
Yeah, yours is being featured on Instagram accounts and framed on a wall. Mine's in a science book somewhere.
Hashtag Moodygrams and stuff like that.
Game of Tones, man. That's the hashtag, bro. Game of Tones, dude.
Oh, thanks, Dennis. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I love your crop. Not that I hate the green, I mean, obviously it's very touched,
it's a style choice, right? Like,
definitely, but I like it. It really works for yours and all that good stuff. So I really like the crop on yours. And
deep forest in the middle of the city.
Yeah. Well, frick, is that it? Let me pull all the images here, chat.
Let's pull them all up. Let's take a good old look-sees. This is fun. Basically 2 hours right on the dot too. Look at us go.
Yeah. So good. Here's the images, chat. My edits are on the top and we've got Mapes on the bottom.
Talk about displaying a difference of natural style and just choices. Very
good.
So let this be a lesson. Just do your own thing. Just do it. Follow your convictions about what a photo needs. Don't chase trends, because that'll show less timelessness, let's say. So just do your thing.
Yeah, and you're gonna find yourself going through seasons of like different styles as well, like and really you only come to the point just by constant editing practice, like I mean, I don't know how else to get better at, but I don't know how else to tell you to get better at editing and stuff than edit, like keep editing and keep shooting and just freaking keep doing it. And you are gonna make those mistakes. You are gonna, miss the green or whatever.
Like allow yourself to pendulum swing. Like you should look back at your photos and be like, what in the world was I thinking?
Yeah.
And then, you swing the other way and you start doing that. And then, what was I even doing? And I mean, like, don't feed the imposter syndrome too much, but it's good. That's how we grow. That's how we find our style. And our style is somewhere in the middle. And, you like something, boom, all of your photos are swung to that kind of style. Cause you want to make it your own and stuff. And then you look back and it's like, oh, maybe that's not really feeding me creatively the way that I want it to.
Yeah.
So you swing the other way, and that's just allow yourself to swing, man.
Yeah. One thing, when COVID hit, photography was a good portion of my income, though it wasn't my full-time job yet. And, all the weddings that I had canceled, and I started streaming and I started editing and re-editing photos that I had already shot, and if that's the case for you, like you don't, you're just starting out, or maybe you don't have a lot of shoots going on, I encourage you to re-edit things, redo things, work on a project. If you don't have a website, do your website and then cull your images, go down and select the best ones if you haven't, and then edit those and like create a story of them and like keep that practice up and going, because that's really the only way. Like, I mean, we've only been at this since 2020 in March, coming up on 2 years, but like seeing a lot of the people in the community where they were from when I first met them to like where they are now was like so insane. Like such a night and day difference kind of thing. But yeah, I loved having you on today, Mapes. Thank you very much.
It was super fun to come on. Oh man, just get out there and shoot, guys. Have fun. Do stuff that you like. And if you want, I'm not posting on Instagram a whole bunch because I'm a lazy guy like that. But you can find it over on my Twitch bio, and follow me there, and I'll see you around.
Yeah. Chat. We got his links right there. Twitch.tv/Mapleglades. There's the Instagram right there. You guys can follow him and show him some mad love. And dude, we're definitely gonna have you back on again. Sweet. For something like this.
It. Love coming on. Super sick.
Also, what was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, dude. Okay, so do you have a schedule, by the way? Like, can you tell people like what your schedule for streaming is like, or is it kind of all over the place right now?
Work from home. Sometimes I can show the things that I'm working on, and sometimes I can't. But a lot of the time, I try. I would say it's a lot of pressure to say I stream daily, but the pattern has been showing I'm streaming like probably close to 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah, I'm on a lot, so just watch
your time zone east.
I know you all follow a lot of stuff, but I'm sometimes starting around like 10, 11 Eastern time if I don't have a lot going on. Sometimes I'm starting mid-afternoon, and sometimes I'll do days like yesterday where I start in the afternoon and I end at like 1 in the morning. So
that's insane.
So they usually aren't short streams when I'm on. So come hang out, drop in, say hey. I actually want to get to know you. I like, putting little imaginary faces to your crazy names. That's a fun game for me. So.
Yeah. Sick, man. Well,
thanks for having me. Thanks for cultivating, to use farming language, this very cool
cultivating
community that you guys have. It's super cool to be a part of it. I got my den coin.
Oh, nice.
The other day. Hang on. We're just I have no idea if this is going to focus, but
there it is.
There it is. It's cool. It's cool to be a part of the community. Thanks for, being awesome. So everybody follow everybody who's a photographer, and let's get our own category on Twitch.
I love it. And so if you guys want more of these videos, you guys can watch more on YouTube. This one will be up hopefully sooner than, dude, I'm still going through interviews I did like a year ago, and I'm trying to get them up. So I'm gonna try and get real quick with this one and put some more recent
and you guys
stuff.
stick around for the Raw challenge. We're gonna be going through that right away. 47 islands delivered a really sick Dutch angle portrait shot that honestly made my brain break a little bit trying to edit it. So we're going to jump into that right away, I assume. So stick around. The show is not over.
There it is. Dude, Mapes, I'm going to put you back up on the big screen so you can do your spiel, and everyone else in the chat show some mad love.
The last 5 minutes, but okay. Hi, it's me again. I'll spiel again. Come on over if you want to talk about Lightroom. Teach me things about Photoshop because I'm a complete noob. And let's just like have a good time. I do play some games sometimes, so come in and we'll find something cool to do. I usually have a campfire up on that screen over there, and sparks come out of it. That's my VFX knowledge. It's very fun, very immersive, very cozy streams. So come on out. Would love to have you, and support your fellow photographers. Go shoot stuff. Make people's days. One more thing. If you are a photographer, what you do is a superpower for so many people. The idea that they can have awesome photos of themselves, they don't know what it is, they don't know all the jargon, but if you have the opportunity to take a cool photo of somebody and deliver it to them, you will absolutely you will make their day.
Chef's kiss.
Realize that what you do is really cool, really special. You all have a very cool style inside you. Swing that pendulum and make cool stuff.
There it is. All right, guys. Maple, we'll see you later. Have a good one.
See you later.
Aloha.
Peace, guys.
Chee!